Ladies and gentlemen, Rabea Massaad.
Hi.
I'll skip the polities. We just caught up a little.
Yeah, we know each other. It's all good.
I'm gonna start with a little bit of a musical catch-up because you've been in a lot of projects throughout the years, and people might not be aware of what's happening right now with VOWER. So, band-wise and music-wise, where are you at?
Yeah, so VOWER is the new project that we launched a year and a half ago. It's made up of a couple of bands that were kind of well established in the UK. Black Peaks and Palm Reader, which some of you may know or not, but they were doing pretty well. And then my band Tosca. And yeah, we got together and a couple of years ago just started jamming and writing. And it's, you know, when you meet people, that writing becomes really just natural. There's no real barrier. There's no awkwardness. If you don't like an idea, they're like, oh, what do you think of this? And you're like, yeah, it's all right. There's none of that, you know, it's just, I think we're all on the same page musically, so the songs just started flowing out. And what's nice for me personally is it's not... Tosca was very progressive and like trying to just push the boat out structurally and musically, whatever. This is like it's like an unspoken agreement to just write some tunes, write some songs. They may follow a formulaic structure, verse, chorus, but it's more about the vibe and the vocals now. There's vocals.
Yeah, right.
So we've been a year and a half. We've had decent success so far. Played some big festivals, Download and a couple of others. And I'm now recording and mixing it all. So I've been working really hard over the last couple of years at engineering and recording and all that stuff. And so, yeah, we're on tour in November. It's going well.
That's dope, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's very exciting. I do love I'm you know, some people are really good with instrumental music only, but I'm biased towards vocal. Like I want somebody to sing me a song, you know?
Yeah.
And so I really, really enjoy what you guys are doing. What's the writing process like now? Because I'm guessing it is a different exercise to work with a singer. Now, I mean, you've done it before with Rob and so on, but what's the writing process like in this particular context?
So, very fortunately, I've got a studio that I have in Brighton. So guitarists will come over and we'll have a session template with like a electronic kit mapped to GGD or something like that. And we'll sit with the guitars. And you know how it is nowadays. You've got plugins and quad cortexes and all this stuff, so you don't need to...
We'll get there, yeah.
Yeah. So you can just quickly throw out some ideas, record it in, jump on the kit, track a quick idea, plug the bass in, and just put together a structure.
So far in that story, you're alone. You're just doing this in your studio, and
yeah, just me and Joe, the other guitarist.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Because it's easy. Like I love writing in a room with the band, but you have that too many chefs syndrome sometimes, where they're like, "Oh, it'd be cool if we like lengthen this bit," and you're like, "Yeah, just give me a sec. I'm just trying to work out this riff." Yeah, but what about the bass bit? Like,
what if we did this in 1718?
Yeah, and you're just like, I just need a minute to get this riff down. So it's nice, just the two of us. Get the skeleton.
Yeah.
I'll mix it to a point where it sounds not terrible, so the other guys, because I think that can stump your inspiration. If it sounds bad, like mixed it, they're going to go, I'm not sure. If it sounds big and punchy, they might be like, oh, this is a vibe. So yeah, it's very much go with your gut with an idea. In Tosca, sometimes Ben and Dave would have to go and get a coffee while I sit there and like think of the perfect part, like 20 minutes. They'll come back in, have you got something? Like, with this, it's like, no, that's a cool vibe. Let's just go with it for now. If it doesn't work in the rest of the song later on, we'll address it then. And that's been the one thing that's made us write so quickly. So
yeah, true. Like the output was pretty quick for a band that's only existed for a year and a half. Definitely.
Yeah, like we've done with this EP coming out in November, we'll have done an album's worth of tracks in the last year, and we've already written 6 more songs for the album that will be next year.
Nice, that's epic. Going into the sound of that demo, then what's your at-home setup right now? What do you use for tracking? What do you use for? Is it plug-in? Do you have your amp set up at home as well? What does that look like?
So at home. We were talking about this a minute ago in the like home studio, room where I have a guitar.
Yeah.
It's just a quad cortex, a pair of monitors, because it's just for practice and enjoyment of playing, which I'm trying to find again.
Yeah.
But at the studio, obviously, from the last over a decade of demoing gear, it's all still there.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
stack of amps
You
and
don't have a
pedals.
vault somewhere.
It's ridiculous, man. There's so much choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, and now with getting into recording and having mics and stuff, so we'll just, if we're recording for the actual records, we've got a good choice of stuff. But if we're talking about writing and putting ideas down, that'll be upstairs in the mix room, which will again be plug-in. It'll be a combination of plug-in and QC for the demos.
Yeah. You gave a workshop yesterday that I couldn't attend, so I'm going to ask you to boil it back down for me. What's now the big touring rig? What's the mix of amp and modelers, and how do you get that on the road?
So yeah, my workshop yesterday was meant to be showing that, but the amps never arrived.
Oh shit!
I had some Victory amps coming from the UK.
Oh yeah,
and they're somewhere in Germany right now. I've no idea where.
Oh man, you're not lucky with transportation,
no,
are you?
Not at all. I lost my guitars 4 times last year on flights. It's just, I don't know what it is.
Let's go into what's the worst airplane company to work with. Let's do it right now.
Honestly, Lufthansa.
Are we doing it? Okay. Right.
No, we're not. They've been the worst.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, I followed those stories. I didn't know it repeated yesterday.
That's stressful.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah, the touring setup is, for now, because we're playing smaller venues and it's got to be portable.
Yeah.
Be the quad cortex, and then I'll run outputs to effects loop returns of amplifiers.
Okay.
So it's really important that we have amps on stage.
You are doing stage sound still.
Yeah. We don't mic those up.
No.
Front of house gets the XLRs, but it means I can stand in front of my amp and get that feedback, with the gain and the delay, and make a vibe before the song kicks in. So that's really important. And the nice thing with the modeling side of things is that it's the same preset.
Yeah.
You're not having to worry about that. And XLR to front of house, engineer gets the same sound every night.
Yeah.
But what we really want to do once we get, hopefully, to bigger venues is have back to the stereo rig with the big board, the gig rig, all the Strymon stuff.
Yeah.
Including QC, though, because there are things in there, like when the synth comes to QC, which we 100% need in the sound. So it'll be an even bigger pedal board, I think.
Yeah.
I think it weighs like 40 kilos already.
It's
bad. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. Holy. Like, I love when people put the argument like, oh, you should go with modelers. They're a lot more practical. And they look at you, putting them on a 40-kilo pedal board. You know? All right. Okay. No, but that's great. I'm sorry about your amps. I had no idea that the workshop turned out
I was hoping they'd arrive today because I have another workshop. They're not here.
Not there.
So I've managed to find a JCM 900 and a Invective Mini.
I was going to say, like, if there's any place where you can find like some spare amps and guitars, probably.
The cool thing is that my Krakens are based on a JCM 900 and a 5150.
Yeah.
So having a JCM 900 and an Invective is 50, 150-ish. Then it's hopefully will work.
Right. Okay. I'm really just backing off the conversation with Dweezil Zappa yesterday. That was a big moment for me, so I'm going to repeat myself a bit. But that conversation went into the content creation versus the musician sort of debate, you know. And Dweezil was explaining what he was looking out into the future, planning to do on YouTube or on tour and on that. What's your mindset right now? Because you're doing both things. You're doing a bit of everything. It was like, do you plan on going more with gear demos, or do you just want to focus on the band and slow that down a bit?
So it was like, I think lockdown is where I had like a lot of people did, an epiphany of like, I'm not happy doing gear demos really anymore. Like there are some brands and that are personal friends, you know, Boss, Victory, you know, Neural, Strymon, people like that, Origin, that I've made close friends with over the years of demoing, that if they're like, do you want to try something out? Then because they're friends. And, you know, it's still a platform that I built up that people come to hear stuff. Yeah. But it honestly just, for me now, I think having invested so many years doing that, I felt like I wasn't doing enough of the music. I was always in bands touring alongside it, but I wasn't the primary focus. Yeah. And for me, it's been really important to put more energy into, you know, being a guitarist writing music with the band or on my own, and just investing more in that side of my life. Because you know, makes me feel happier.
Yeah, that's it. Like ultimately, it's just do whatever makes you happy. That's the objective, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's a constant conversation in the industry of like people not feeling super great about being called content creator when you want to be a musician, you want to be a guitar player. It's part of the job. It's a necessary part of the job nowadays.
Yeah.
But you know, it's an internal sort of debate for a lot of people.
Yeah, like Instagram's a good example of something that I enjoy because I just get to play and post that.
Yeah.
And I understand in the modern landscape, being online on, these platforms is crucial to people's careers. You see even the older guys doing it now.
Yeah.
So that, again, backs up that it is relevant and it is important to keep things going. And I like that platform because I don't have to talk about gear and stuff. And it's the other thing of like, when you go more into just music and playing bands and writing your own stuff, you realize that you do start to filter away your following a bit. Like my YouTube channel, it's more universally appreciated if someone's looking to buy a piece of gear that they can come to my channel and enjoy the video. Whereas when I start talking about my own music, a very small percentage of those people are going to care.
Yeah.
But honestly, it doesn't bother me because it's something that even if one person was like, I really like what you're doing, then that feels
that's enough. Yeah. I mean, I've talked to Chris a lot about this because he's in the exact same position. I'm not talking for you, but he's released an album as well, and you see the divide between him demoing a clone and him talking about the writing process of his music, and it can be a little heartbreaking sometimes because that's your love child, that's your passion. And so, but I understand. It's interesting you mentioned Instagram that way because that's exactly how I feel. That's why I don't or barely do any YouTube of my own. I'm here for YouTube for Thomann. That's a bit weird for me to say, but it's like, it's different. I couldn't come home and do the explanation and all, while Instagram gives me a little bit more of, I'm just going to play this for a minute and that's going to be what it is, and it's more freeing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Where you see your rig going right now, is it taking a specific direction? Do you think ultimately what you want is to keep that hybrid? Every year we do those conventions and we ask people, what do you think the future of amplification, the future of guitar is? And are you going to die on that hill? Are you going to be the guy with the tube amps going and using that?
I think in an ideal world for me, it would be that hybrid because I played tube amps and pedals for so many years before getting into the digital stuff.
Yeah.
You hear that thing where people, if they've only played digital, they struggle on a tube amp because it's faster, it's less forgiving, it exposes more detail in different ways. You can't what the amp sounds like is literally what it sounds like on a modeler. You can EQ you just take it way away from where it sounded originally, But one thing I love about the hybrid thing is that, take my Kraken, for example, it sounds the way it sounds. But when I add the modeler in between it, splitting the preamp and the power amp, which hopefully I can demonstrate later today at my workshop.
Fingers crossed.
Is how I can have that sound that I like from the amp, and then I can swap it out for, say, a model of a matchless or a Fender Twin, and start expanding the amp way more. Right. And also, I feel like there's an element of production that you can add in with modelers because of things like EQs and because you can add really complex chains.
Yeah.
When you're writing in a band, for example, and you do stuff in the studio, you want to recreate it live. It's a little bit more achievable with digital.
Yeah.
But then having the luxury of powering an amp and having it blasting and getting that feeling from the amplifier, I don't think I'll ever not love doing that. So I'll always fly the flag for both.
It makes you play different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, exactly. It's not necessarily what the audience is going to hear. It's more like what you have right now and how you're vibing with it makes it like it informs your playing as well, I think.
Yeah, yeah. For me, certainly.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned. I don't know if it's funny. It's cool that you mentioned the conditioning aspect of doing that, because you read like. Do you think that the younger generation that maybe hasn't had the opportunity to mess around with tube amps and loud amps and all that is going to feel completely differently about it, or are they at some point going to realize, oh wow, that's That's cool.
I think it's like the same thing with trends of like music genres and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the way like there's this mild resurgence of nu metal happening.
Oh yeah,
You know,
that's
people
true.
are getting back into that. I think it's the same thing with gear and stuff. Like everyone said, rat gear was dead, and then it's sort of come back, and
Yeah.
you know, these full circle moments.
Cyclical, yeah.
Yeah, but with tube amps, I think, as you said, younger players don't necessarily have the opportunity to play tube amps in a room loud, and so they don't necessarily feel invested in that experience. Therefore, they're not going to necessarily invest money in buying a tube amp, right?
Yeah.
Because they're expensive.
Yeah.
Good ones are. And I think it's that needs to happen more for younger players to experience that and maybe realize that they can coexist peacefully and have like get great results from. Because I don't know, maybe I'm old school for thinking that, but like you can't replace the sound, the feeling and the sound of a tube amp that's dialed in how you want it and get that.
It's all of that ultimately it's a very subjective conversation anyway.
Yeah.
It's like some people are going to say yes, some people are going to say no. It's whatever makes you feel good. It's whatever makes you play like you want to play.
100%.
And I know that if I'm playing through headphones, I'm not going to be happy with my
Yeah, no, I struggle with that
It's
too.
it's going to be that thing. Do you do it for yourself? I want to talk about the signature stuff a little bit in respects to that as well, because you've been very fortunate to work with some awesome companies. Does that evolution of your rig also inform decisions when it comes to, okay, ideally now I would like to do this that way, or if I got the opportunity to work with a company that makes a delay, I would like to have this and that. Like, do you have some sort of a list of things that if someone reaches out, like, yes, I actually have the spec sheet right there?
I think with the when I actually boil it all down to what the signature products are, whether it's the plugin or the pickups or the working with Victory, fundamentally they're all kind of the same over this time period. Like I look at the plugin, and it's like it's still a Kraken Fender Twin. I feel like I found the things that I really enjoy before all of that stuff came along, like playing strats and getting good single coil tone and fuzz and the octave stuff. And then the type of ambient sounds I like, it all kind of still feels like it's fundamentally all still the same.
Yeah.
Even with the Quad Cortex, I still load up Kraken presets and dial in Strymon style reverb and delays. It's all still the same.
Yeah.
And that's, I feel like, not necessarily like hit the end of the road of what I'd like tonally. It's more just I'm still over the moon with that kind of soundscape and palette of tones, whether it's single coils or humbuckers or whatever. I think the only thing I'd say is I definitely strive for like maybe more dynamic now than I used to do.
Yeah.
Like with pickup specifically, I used to use a really high output pickup, and now I feel like I'm looking for lower output pickup that I can just...
That age just kicking in.
Yeah, I'm nearly 40.
No, but I feel that. I mean, it's this. You grew into that sound as a guitar player. That's the sound that you became associated with, and that took you where you are as well. There's a good reason why you still are going to go for the Kraken sort of thing, and then the Strymon reverb and delay and stereo and all of that, because that's a part of you, your identity as a player now.
Yeah, and I think versatility is like really important.
Yeah,
like people look at a Kraken, for example, and think, oh, it's metal, but honestly, going low gain on it with a Strat and lots of reverb, it's definitely more than a metal amp. And
100%.
I'm the same with whatever it is I'm using. I feel like it has to be versatile, at least in the scope of like gain.
Yeah.
Has to be able to achieve dynamics.
And guitar-wise, how are you now? Because you still got the Ernie Ball Music Man collaboration going on. Is there anything new-ish on the horizon?
Well, the Sterling's out in next month, which we talked about at NAMM. In terms of the Music Man stuff, we've done the Sabre that launched last year, and we did New Color this year.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be working on something new that probably won't emerge till the year after next.
The year after next. Oh, that's
2027.
long-term teasing is what we're doing right here.
Well, it's really exciting. It's basically working on a new model for me.
That's great. That's awesome, man.
So
Very happy for you.
thank you, man. Yeah, I'm amazed that they even want to work with me. I'm like, are you sure you guys want to do this?
So, me?
Yeah.
So, You see, looking behind you, it's
Like the YouTube comments, who? Who's that guy? He works at Anderton's.
Yeah. Works out. Yeah. I mean, you know, we see the comment section every time you're back on the Anderton's channel. Every time you're back, it's like it's wild. But it's.
I think people, whoever just watches the YouTube demos and then see like a company like Music Man or something making a fuss, they're like, why? They have no idea, and I don't blame them. Like if they're not interested,
Right.
it's more just confusion. I understand.
Yeah. You tell the people what you got going on in the near future. You said you were going to be touring with VOWER.
Yeah, we're touring in November. We're playing 3 dates in Germany, actually. We're playing Wiesbaden, Hamburg, and Berlin.
Awesome.
Which I don't know how close any of those are to here. My geography's terrible.
Google knows.
Yeah, and then and then the UK, a bit of Holland as well.
Nice.
And then there's a new EP coming out. And then on the side, I'm writing my own stuff as well.
Yeah.
Which will probably be I'd love to do it to be one sort of angle musically, but what ends up happening is get a Strat and fuzz, and there'll be like a bluesy track, and there'll be something really heavy, and then some ambient. So I'm trying to work out if I just focusing on
how
one thing.
to do it, coherently.
Yeah,
that's exciting too. It's an exercise on its own.
Yeah, and other than that, just keep putting little clips on social media, standard stuff. Just keep on keeping on, right?
Keep on keeping on. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you, dude.
Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for attending.
Thank you all for hanging out.
It's Rabea Massaad.
Yeah. Thanks.
Let's go.